Everyone, welcome to clumsyboi tech. So we are going to be doing a tissue culture from an oyster variety, which is called as Sezer Kaju, or in English it is called as phoenix oyster. It's pretty common everywhere and it tastes good among the other oysters. So let me set this all right and we will begin. So I don't use a spirit lamp. Usually I kind of broke that glass spirit lamp, so I turned this jar into a spirit lamp and it does the job. It is pretty much the same. And that square thing over there is called as a HEPA filter, a low cost alternative for a laminar airflow or a flow hood. It is very important to use flow hood because I was getting a lot of contaminations in the beginning, and after I started using this, that became reduced significantly. And in front of a flame, so that no contaminants get through the air. You can find this in Amazon. It is pretty cheap. I bought it for like 2500 rupees. I will leave a link below in the description, or you can use a simple still air box. I will put it in another video how to make a still air box. Make sure you wear gloves before you work. Anything related to myco, just because it's very important to be sterile. Yeah, the heat is coming over, so always have two small pieces of cotton with rubbing alcohol or a spirit lamp. In case if something happens, you can clean it easily. It's very handy to have a spirit alcohol. Make sure your workplace is very clean. Clean it first in the beginning, and your tools, which is used to cut a small piece of tissue from the mushroom. Make sure you flame sterilize everything, so that there is not contaminants present in the blade. All right, I made these plates like a week ago. I will put up a video on how to make your own agar plates in home. That is pretty easy once you get your hands around it. Make sure the plates are clean, rub it with spirit alcohol, or even hand sanitizers may do, but the recommended one is spirit alcohol, ethanol. Okay, and here comes the mushroom. So this is a cocoa bag which I pasteurized earlier and used it to grow, and this is a bunch of phoenix oyster. Oysters pretty well do in all the conditions. This grows in room temperature. If you just spray water on it every day, that is more than enough. Make sure you take a larger piece of mushrooms so that it is easy to cut the tissue sample from the mushroom. Sezer Kaju usually looks a little grayish in color. When you pluck a mushroom outside or from your own grow room, make sure you clean it thoroughly so that there is no insects or something that is in the mushroom. Make sure to flame sterilize the mushroom. Just show it near the flame so that any bacteria or microscopic contaminants, they get cleaned. Make sure you take a larger piece for your transfer. And keep everything ready before you cut the tissue from the from the mushroom. I used micropore tape on the agar plates. These things are a little clumsy, but this does the job, and it is cheap. It is easily available in India. You can find it in Amazon or in your local medical store. Alright. Or you can just tear it open with a blade. It doesn't really matter, unless the tape is contaminated. Make sure you wipe the tape around it with a rubbing alcohol so that it is clean. Now, if you are new to myco and you just want to learn, you can buy this filter fan. It is pretty cheap. Or you can just work with a spirit lamp or an ordinary lamp. That works too, but it is more prone to contam. Probably I will be getting my laminar flow hood, or I will try to make a new one, for my own use, and put a video up there. And make sure to like and comment what you think about this, and subscribe to the channel for more myco videos. Yeah, take the mushroom and just approximately in the center, just tear it into half and keep the other half beside you, and scratch a small piece. These are newly exposed tissue, and take a small piece from it. A tiny little piece is enough to grow your own mushrooms, and transfer it into the plate carefully. Make sure you do everything within the surrounding of that flame. Make sure you get that heat from the flame. The tissue gets stuck. It happens sometimes. Make sure you do not mess it up like this. This is probably not how you should do it. You should not be exposing the agar to open air this much time. This is probably going to get contaminated, but let's see. Let's hope for the best. Make sure you tape it again with clean tape, and rub spirit alcohol over the tape so that any contams present in may be cleaned. Make sure the tape has no gaps in between, and it is stuck together. And I will be rubbing alcohol over it again so that to make sure no contents present in it. So there is a small piece in it, so it will probably take 2 to 3 days to start growing from that tissue. You can see some growth, and make sure to name the plate and date so that you know what tissue is that. It is very important to name it so you don't confuse it with other tissues. So this is actually PDA, potato dextrose agar, with some antibiotics present in it. I will make a video on how to make an agar plate and pasteurize it with autoclave, or even pressure cooker will do. It's pretty easy to do it on your own. Alright, I'm transferring another piece of tissue because I think that one will probably get contaminated because I just messed it up. Things happen in myco when you are taking tissue samples. The plates may get contaminated, but it is better to do more than 2 to 3 plates, so that at least one of your plates get healthy mycelium growing in it. Yeah, at least 2 samples would be enough, and even if contaminations happen in that plate, you can transfer the healthy mycelium to another clean plate. So this is how you can work with contamination. Make sure you clean the blade every time you make the tissue transfer, because the pieces of that mycelium will be sitting on that blade, so it is better to clean it with alcohol and flame sterilize it. Make sure not to overheat the blade, or else the tissue may die due to heat. Mycelium can't handle heat, and that's a small piece you will be needing. That is enough. Make sure the alright, okay, that was quick and smooth. So I think this one will do better than the previous one. Let's see. This was fast and clean. And tape it up really quickly, not exposing it to outer air. Now every 5 minutes make sure you sanitize your gloves or your hands. It's very important to be sterile while working with agar and mycelium, or in a lab particularly. Make sure there is no gap between the plates, so that no contaminants enter into the plate, grow inside the plate. Just let's leave it aside, and we'll name it. And that's it. I'll update you on how these agars are doing in a follow-up video, and let's see in another video.